Hey guys, FitByCourt here. Alright, we're talking pain management, foam rolling, self-myofascial release, however you want to look at it, some static stretching, some physical therapy techniques that I've learned along the way, some massage techniques I've learned along the way, piecing that all together to help you feel overall better, less pain. A little tidbit, if you haven't heard yet, I'm sure a lot of people are starting to figure it out, but Epsom salt baths and magnesium supplements really help pull some of those aches and pains out of the body. So, I know taking a bath sometimes just feels like, I don't know, at least to me as a mom working from home, impossible. Right, but I've been putting a little more effort into it, taking a little more time, and I can feel the difference. So go get some Epsom salt at least a couple times a week. Hop into that bath, just soak and relax, and even just the being still and relaxing is so beneficial for you. But that Epsom salt really helps pull out some of that aches and pains. So today, this is the only part of our program that requires lots of little pieces. Mostly you want to grab a foam roller and maybe 2 tennis balls. That's going to be the most beneficial thing for our pain management section. However, today I'm going to start a little bit with some blocks. If you don't have a block, you can actually use like a book that's about the size, right, 4 by 6-ish. And that will work. And then for today, you can even just grab a blanket or a pillow if you need for underneath your head. We're going to take it, we're going to place it right here. It's going to end up going right between the shoulder blades, right? And we're going to roll all the way over it. So, place it down. If you're concerned about the flexibility in this area, then you would put the block here behind you, or I recommend something actually a little bit smaller than this so that you can get the full benefit. But you'll roll it down, place it right between the shoulder blades, and release the head to that pillow or blanket or whatever you have. If you have the flexibility, you can actually release the head to the earth, and then you're really digging in between those shoulder blades a little more and opening the chest, expanding a little deeper. All you're going to do here on this variation is just stay, hang out, and breathe, right? I recommend actually sitting in this position for a good solid minute if you can. We all spend so much time hunched over the computers, iPhones, iPads, right? We're causing serious issues in our neck and shoulders. So this will counterbalance that and open the chest. Kind of opening up that heart chakra as well, right here in the center, that nice, beautiful green heart chakra. Just going to take a few more breaths here this morning or this evening. Beautiful. As you come out of it, especially if your head's all the way to the earth, maybe kind of support the head and roll it up. To dig a little bit deeper into that, we're going to take our tennis balls. We're going to grab a hold of those. We're going to take them right between a little bit lower, kind of right there at the mid-back. No reason to necessarily go all the way down to the low back. Just keep it a little safe. Bring it up a little higher. Roll all the way back down on top of those. Find the spot, so we're not rolling over the spine. There's no pressure on the spine at all. If you want to dig in a little deeper, you can pull the knees into the chest and roll over. If that's too much, relax, drop the legs back down to the earth. And again, with our foam rolling, we're moving nice and slow. We're finding a spot, and then we're hanging out on that spot for 30 to 90 seconds. You can kind of roll side to side. You can kind of roll around that knot but you want to stay in that area. And then we slowly move up from there. Remember that we're looking for those adhesions, that just bulk of the pain. It's fascia, lactic acid, scar tissue from previous injuries. Anytime that we hurt ourselves, obviously the first part of that recovery is to rest. However, while we're resting, we're developing more fascia and more scar tissue. So as soon as we're cleared, we need to start to bring back in some flexibility, some movement, some dynamic space there, right? Some strength, and just those light exercises. Many times our physical therapy programs really focus on strength, but sometimes they don't put as much effort into the flexibility. But we really have to maintain that flexibility, or we'll end up with major problems down the road, not being able to have full function or full movement of that space. Again, slowly migrating, rolling those tennis balls, or what I'm using are the lacrosse balls. They're a little bit harder. Baseballs, anything really that works for you. Golf balls. If you need it harder or softer, just kind of find the firmness that you need that really digs in for you. And again, you can kind of pull, straighten, circle, dig through that knot. It's just like getting a massage. They kind of span through, they look around, they find that spot, and then they kind of target that spot. So that's what you want to do. Foam rolling by no means takes out the need for massage or chiropractic, but it works really well with them. I can alleviate pain for much longer by continuing to foam roll every day after I get my adjustment and after I get my massage. And also just those times where I get up that morning and I think, oh my gosh, this spot or that spot is really bugging me. I don't want to go through the day with that pain. If I take a few minutes and I roll it out, I'll feel a lot better. Slowly bringing it all the way up. We want to take it all the way to the tippy top. Ladies, pull your hair out of the way. Your tank top's kind of getting in the way. Everything kind of bunches up as you start to roll down. And when you get to those traps, maybe inhale the arms overhead. Maybe take them out to the side. Whatever it is, just kind of roll through. And breathe, right? The tighter those spots are, the more tender they are, the more we have a tendency to kind of tighten everything up. Try and relax the muscle over the roller, the ball, whatever you're using. Try to focus on that breath. And it's just kind of like that massage chair rolling up and down the spine. Beautiful. From here, we're going to take our foam roller, we're going to release it, and we're going to go up underneath the lat. So we'll start underneath the armpit, we'll roll all the way down, you can take it front to back. So you're right underneath the armpit, right there on the lat. You kind of roll back just a little bit. Then you can even lift and start to roll a little further. It's simple physics, right? So the more weight you put into the roller, the harder it's going to be digging into whatever spot you're on. So if you need to back it off, support yourself a little more, or if you need to dig it in a little deeper, right? Depending on the firmness of your foam roll as well. Or if I'm using this one, I can really crank in there. If I'm using that hard one over there, sometimes it's just too much. So I have to find the balance of what I need for that day. And every day, every single day, our bodies are different. Every morning we wake up, something is a little bit different than it was the day before. Something's a little tighter, something's a little looser. You need to work on this, you need to work on that. So keep that in mind. Remember that just because the other side maybe doesn't hurt, so all of my pain typically resonates in the right side of my body. Right foot, right hip, right shoulder, almost always my right side. However, when I go in and get a massage, I'm almost always tighter on the left side. So remember to balance that out, to roll that other side to make sure that you actually, that opposite side, although it's not causing in your mind any pain, may actually be causing that pain on the side that the pain is resonating through. So always, always, always check both sides. Sometimes you may find something in there that you had no idea was there. Other times you're like, yeah, I knew exactly where that was coming from. Remember that wherever it's muscle, tendon, bone, right? So wherever that tendon attaches to the bone, if we're feeling pain here, most likely we need to check in with this quad. Somewhere up through here, there's a knot or two that's shortening that muscle, therefore stretching and pulling on that tendon and putting pain into the knee. So if we release the muscle back to its proper length, then we're able to let go of that tendon and we're able to let go of the pain in any joint, wherever it is, but in this specific case, in the knee, right? I've been asked, how long do you have to foam roll before you start to feel a benefit? And literally 1 minute, 5 minutes, an hour. If you spend an hour rolling your whole body, I guarantee you you'll get up and you will feel better than where you started before that time. Like I said, sometimes in the mornings my shoulders are really tight. I get up, I roll on those balls for 1 to 5 minutes, and I go about my day feeling better. So it is pretty much an instant process of feeling better. So take the time, a couple minutes here or there. If you get an opportunity, take the time and do the whole body. So we talked about kind of the lats up between the shoulder blades this morning. We're going to roll back and talk about the neck a little bit more. So place that roller underneath you. Roll all the way down, right? Listen to the spine. Please don't do anything that doesn't feel right for your body. But I get where these tracks run up and then connect and then pull all the way up underneath, kind of right at the base of my skull. Gets really tight and will cause pretty severe headaches right all the way through, right above my eyebrow. So, of course, obviously massaging chiropractic, but sometimes I can't afford it, sometimes I don't have the time, whatever it is, all right? And then roll over and just kind of dig right into that muscle. No crunching, no pain. We're not rolling over the spine, right? We're finding the muscle there and rolling to one side, kind of below the right ear. Right, and when we roll to the other side, we take some pressure off. Again, we're not rolling over the spine. We dig to that other side and we find the muscle there. Coming back to center and slowly roll it up. So today's class is mostly focused on headaches, right? So that neck here, a lot of times, even where we were down between the shoulder blades there, up through the lats here, all of that stuff is causing aches and pains here. Another thing to check in with is your water intake, right? Water is huge on those headaches. Most of us are dehydrated on a regular basis, so spending extra time to make sure that we're getting the proper amount of hydration will reduce your headaches big time. Take your body weight, divide it by 2, that's what you want in ounces, right? So we're all a little bit different. That recommendation of 64 ounces per person per day is a little off. You need to make sure that your body is getting what you need for your frame. So take that and mark it down, make a list, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're getting that amount per day. Another thing is a lot of us carry a lot of tension through the jaw, clenching, just being stressed all the time, right? So a really, really good way to get rid of that. This guy's awesome. It's got a little handle and a little ball inside. So if you can find one of these, I picked it up for, actually a student gave me this one, but she picked it up for about $6. So they're not expensive. I don't know exactly what it was called, but again, it's just kind of a handle with like a hard ball inside. You can take it and you can put pressure right there on the cheek. So we have the muscle that runs through here, and just put it there. And then you can also kind of roll around all the way back up to the jaw. You can even do the temple, right? You can do the jaw. You can roll down the jawline, back behind the ear, underneath, right? So a lot of times I'll just sit and watch TV and do this. You can roll down right here. Big muscle that holds up the head, right? We really stress that throughout the day. And if you don't have this guy, golf ball works just fine. Press it right into the cheek. You just have to kind of manually roll. Right? If you grind your teeth, if you have any TMJ issues, big source of our headaches, we release these muscles through here, and we release that tension. A lot of times we release those headaches. Yeah. Sinus headaches. So same thing, all through the cheek, but then you can also go up and over the eyebrows. And again, always make sure you're doing both sides. I know I've kind of demonstrated more on the right side. I have a tendency to focus on my right side again because that right side is what causes or makes me feel the pain. But you really have to remind yourself to make sure that you check in with both sides. Take a little breath. Sit up nice and tall. Take the right ear over the right shoulder. Take the right hand to the top of the left ear. Take the left hand to the shoulder and just lightly deepen that stretch a little further. Through center, take it to the other side. To center. We're going to stretch out that lat, so where we started rolling underneath here. And then we come up into what we call table. We take hands below shoulders, knees below hips. We walk it forward. We leave the hips right over the knees. We melt it. And then we slide the hands over to the left. We press the right hand into the earth, and we rotate it and look underneath the left arm, finding a nice long stretch right there on that lat. So you should feel it kind of underneath the armpit and wrapping around the rib cage. Take it to the other side. Walk the hands to the right. Press the left hand into the earth. Rotate and spiral underneath the right arm. Bring it back to center. Walk the hands back to meet the body. And slowly release. Alright guys, again, that was all really headache centered. Sinus problems, TMJ problems, tension and stress. It can be from work, life, whatever, right? That we have a tendency to just really ball up through here, through the neck, between the shoulder blades. Slowly starting to work that stuff out. Foam rolling and yoga really go hand to hand. So if you haven't clicked over and checked out our yoga section, I highly recommend doing both of those to really manage your pain and really start to feel better through your body each day. If you have any questions, please, by all means, let me know. You can email me at FitByCourt.com or FitByCourt.com. FitByCourt@gmail.com, and you can always contact me on Facebook or Instagram. literally any way to reach me, FitByCourt. Alright guys, thanks so much. Have a great one.